very nice to see all familiar faces. And oh, do we have anybody else coming in, Joe?
Just 1 second. That's now live, Chair. Everybody is here so far.
Okay.
Nobody else
So
is waiting.
fantastic. Okay, so fantastic. Well done, everybody, for coming to this committee meeting. I think everybody is completely aware of all the arrangements for virtual meetings. I think we're going to put everybody on mute. Joe, please.
Yeah, that's fine, Chair.
And when everybody, if anybody wants to come in, then please raise your hand. So do we have any apologies for absence?
Chair, just Councillor Zubair.
Well, that's totally understandable. So nothing from Councillor Shaw?
No, Chair, no. And everybody else is here.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. And we have Councillor Julie Adams as observing.
Yeah, and Councillor Westerman.
And Councillor Westerman. Lovely. Very nice. Declarations of interest. To receive declarations of interest under consideration on this agenda in accordance with the Localisation Act 2021, section 32, and the relevant authorities, brackets, disclosable pecuniary interest, close brackets, regulation 2012. Members are reminded that should you declare a pecuniary interest at this meeting, it is your responsibility to inform the monitoring officer. Declarations of interest from members. Doesn't appear so.
No.
Joe?
No, none from the officers either, Chair.
None.
Fantastic. Well done, everybody. So public question time participation. I don't think we have anybody, do we, Joe?
We haven't, Chair. No, there's nobody. No.
Okay. Okay, so number 5, minutes for decision. Members are asked to approve the minutes of the Finance and Audit Committee held on Monday, the 18th of January. Do I have a proposer? Thank you very much, Chris Graham, Councillor Chris Graham, and thank you very much, Councillor Josh Clarkson. All those in favour? I think that was unanimous, Joe, was it?
Yes, Chair. Yeah, everybody's happy.
Thank you very much. Okay, so we have progress for noting. Now, I beg your pardon. Joe, can I ask you to go with this?
Yeah, it's just the progress report on the decisions that you took at your January meeting and where each of them are up to. You'll see that most of them relate to grants, where we are just waiting for paperwork and various bits and pieces before payments are made, but everything has been progressed.
I do beg your pardon. You can't see me now. Sorry, I beg your pardon. Thank you very much, Mr. Clark. That's fine. So the next one is number 7, town plan. Joe, I think we're pretty much on board with this, are we?
We are, Chair. So of all the objectives for the current financial year, of which, top of my head, I think we have 45 in total. We've either commenced or completed 43 of them, so there are only 2 outstanding. Also, the ones directly related to the Finance Committee are included, but you'll see that progress is and has been made on all of them. So at this stage, it's just a matter for you to note the update.
Okay, so can we just note the update as we go? Do we need to?
If you got any questions, you just note the update. Yeah, that's fine, Chair.
Okay, that's fine. Thank you very much. Financial reports for decision. Members are asked to note and consider the reports and paperwork with regards to bank reconciliations and month-end reports. Naomi.
So you've got the back of financial paperwork. It shows all our bank accounts are reconciled. You've also got the payments that we've made for January for you to look through, and for 2 councillors, it's usually Councillor Mansell and Councillor Curtis that pick out some checks, and they've actually ahead of themselves now and send me, because obviously the paperwork goes out a week in advance, so they send me the checks, so they will be complete. And then you've got your income and expenditure report. So I don't think that there's anything on there that we haven't discussed before. We know that there are some overspends which we've taken into account for our budget for next financial year, but if anybody's got any questions they want to ask me, I'm more than happy to answer. I'll try my best.
Okay, so I have Councillor Luke Mansell, please.
Thanks, Chair. I did put my hand up just under town plan. I mean, it's nothing that required a motion. I just wanted to point out that under the last objective of it, where it was talking about ward improvement, in the budget part, it sort of said just WDF funds. Now, I mean, if it's a public document, the public may not know what that means. I think it means ward development funds. So we may just need to tighten that up a bit. It happened in allotments. We had something which was written there, which was for note for the office when it needed to be slightly changed for public view. In terms of the finances, I think it's good. One of my questions was about the overspend and us taking that into account for next year, so that's been answered. I know we've got 4 cash books now, 1, 2, 7 and 8, and I just wondered if the office could go through them just a little bit, because I remember last time I think we only had 2, so I'm a bit confused what the other 2 are doing, just for a bit of clarity.
Yeah. So
just the final, just before I do that, I notice under HR, councillors' allowances and staff salary are together as one rather than broken up separately. And I would have thought it would have been quite sensible for accountability to have those 2 separate, because obviously they are different things. I mean, I know it's the councillor, you could call it a salary, but I mean, the different, because the salary, obviously, for the staff, we have responsibilities on, where the allowance is sort of our choice. I mean, we could get rid of it tomorrow if we wanted. So I think it may be better for accountability if we just put them separate. So I'll let Naomi answer. Sorry, I just rambled on.
yeah, no, in relation to the salaries, the reason that we put them together is because we are invoiced by our payroll provider as one. So we can't separate them out, but we have all the backup payroll reports month on month that show them completely separately. Yeah, I mean, potentially we could just transfer that money over into, add it all up and transfer it into a different code, but basically it's set up to pay on the invoice and they're not 2 separate invoices. It is, the internal auditors think it's fine. It hasn't, it is right in terms of accountancy. So in terms of the cash book, so you've got cash book 1 and cash book 2, which are your treasurer's account and your commercial call. And I think they're renamed now, aren't they? Because there was a query over it used to be called the 30-day notice. So I've tried to change it now, so it says commercial call. And then you used to have your petty cash, which was a 3rd cash book, and now that's replaced by the charge card. So that's what that cash book is. And then the fourth cash book is just showing, well, obviously, because you've invested about 100,000 into the deposit fund. And so that's showing that it's separate on the account. So the way to do that is have it as a separate cash book.
Okay. Okay, that's good. Does anybody have any further questions? No? No further questions? Everybody happy?
Yeah.
Okay, so number 9, grant application.
Oh, sorry.
We need to propose,
Yes,
I have to say, I'm sorry.
we need to propose and accept the payments for January, so I could do
You
with
know,
that.
I'm very sorry. I was just so keen to get onto the grants. I would like to propose that we acknowledge all of the
yes, to ratify the January payment.
yes, and that we all note and agree the reports and paperwork for this period.
Yeah. Perfect.
A seconder? Thank you, Councillor Chris Graham. All those in favour?
That's unanimous, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I do apologise for not remembering that again. Grant applications for decision. So we have quite a lot of grant applications this time. And we will start with, hang on a second, do apologise.
Chair, just while you're finding your paperwork, just for members, the first one of the first ones is from Councillor Westman, who is here, and that is for his East Morton Primary Schools and Arts Culture Project.
Yeah.
The report says £2,000. Obviously, we appreciate that Councillor Westerman only has £1,000 in his allocated to him. But we do have a vacancy. There's a councillor vacancy in Morton Sandbeds Ward. And similarly, what we did with Bracken Bank and Ingro is this committee allocated the vacant councillors' fund to the scheme of Bracken Bank. And what we're asking you to do here is exactly the same. And the reason being is the co-option of the vacancy doesn't take place until the 25th of March. So that new council will not have any time this year actually to allocate that money. So it would just be lost. So when you are debating it, it is £1,000 from Councillor Westerman and £1,000 from the vacancy, just to clarify that. That's all. Thank you, Chair.
Thank you very much, Town Clerk. I would like to propose that we agree that the £1,000 from the vacant slot in Morton and Sandbeds be given to this particular project. Do I have a seconder? Thank you very much, Councillor Chris Graham. And can I say everybody in favour, please?
Yeah, thank you.
Unanimous. Jolly good. That's what we wanted to see. Right. However,
Chair, you've got Councillor Westman wanting to speak.
Councillor Westman, very nice to see you, but can I actually just go through what I needed to go through before I call you in? Is that okay? Okay, so what I would like everybody to scroll down to is East Morton Primary School. So we have, the cost of the project is £2,000. Yeah. The first one is absolutely fine. I believe that Councillor Westerman's is not quite easy enough. So if you go down to all right, just forget everything that I've just said and we'll go through it as we have to. I'm really, really sorry. But Chris, can you help me out here?
Chair, we have voted. You have voted and approved it.
Yes, we've approved the vacant slot. That's fine, but we haven't voted on Michael Westerman's one.
Chair, it is the same.
Just hang on 1 second, Councillor Chris Graham.
Thank you, Chair. I think it is about the figures
Yes.
on the form. It clearly says that E, the total, should be the sum of C and D. And if you look at C and D, it actually comes to £4,000. The total of those two. See, I think what's confusing it, I think, is this £1,000 from the other vacant seat. And so, although it does say £2,000, it might have been better if we'd had the £1,000 from what had been a previous councillor's ward fund actually put separately onto another form, because Councillor Westerman is asking for the £1,000 that he has been awarded for his ward, and now he has already put it to the committee that we actually agree to him also having the £1,000 from the other councillors' fund. And I think that's where it doesn't seem to read right on the figures down this side. So if anybody could just have a look at that. It might be that Claire and I are barking up the wrong tree, but do please qualify it, somebody.
Thank you very much. If you go down onto that request, so some number D, which is some requested from Keighley Town Council, should actually be £1,000, because you have already got the £1,000 from the vacant seat. So if we change that to £1,000, then E is fine and E equals B. Do you understand what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
No?
I think we're getting two. What we tried to do was to show that the total cost of the project is £2,000, and to make it easy for the committee, what we've done in the application form is say that the additional £1,000 is coming from the vacant Morton and Sandbeds seat. The total is £2,000. We should have listed them both separately.
Joe, can I please interrupt you? I'm very, very sorry. On this particular one, D, sum requested from Keighley Town Council, should be £1,000. At that point, all the figures will add up.
But it's not, Chair, it's £2,000 the council's putting towards it.
No, because you've already got in C £1,000 Morton and Sandbed's vacant seat.
Chair, I will change the figures. The important thing is tonight, which you have just done, is that you either approve the grant from Councillor Westerman and the vacancy seat, or we don't. I take your point. But
So I would like those figures changed, but I absolutely agree that Councillor Westerman's projection should go through.
that's how to fuse
Can I
the
have a seconder, please? Councillor Julie Adams.
Yeah, can I just make a point that if you have no figure in other sources, money from other sources, and then just in D, the sum requested from C would be 0. Because it isn't coming from other sources, it's both coming from the council. So D would then be sum requested from Keighley Town Council with a note attached saying it's from 2 ward improvement funds. That way, there's nothing coming from other sources, because there isn't. There's nothing coming from other sources at all.
I'm sorry, Councillor Adams. There is another source coming from the vacant seat, which is £1,000, right? From Councillor Westerman, it is going to be £1,000. Therefore, he will be able to give to East Morton Primary School £2,000. What I am saying is that the figures in the actual schedule do not add up. If you actually look at the application, the figures do not add up. If you can actually look at that, then we will sort that out.
Take your point on board. We will amend that. What you're requesting to approve is correct, which is £1,000 from Councillor Westerman, £1,000 from the vacancy. You proposed it. I suggest somebody second it, and we can move to the vote, Chair.
Thank you. Do I have a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Chris Graham. All those in favour, please. Thank you. I'm sorry, Joe, I've actually lost my pieces of paper. Can you tell me which is the next one?
I can, Chair. The next one is the Village Hall Grit Bin at Oakworth from Councillor Munsell, and it's £124.65. Basically, what the funding is to buy the bin, fill it full of grit once, and then after that, it's the responsibility of the Village Hall. So Councillor Munsell is buying the bin and some grit, but it's not part of our annual refill. They'll fill it themselves every year from then on.
Okay, fantastic. Thank you very much indeed. Do I have a proposer for this, please? Thank you, Councillor Chris Graham, and a seconder. Joss Clarkson. Thank you very much, Councillor. All those in favour? You can't, Luke.
You can.
Well, you can, but anyway. Sorry. Number 4, members to approve a grant of £135 ex-VAT from Councillor Curtis Ward for Oakworth dog bag dispenser refills. Do I have a proposer for this one? Councillor Luke Mountsawn. A seconder? Councillor Mark Curtis. All those in favour? I think that's unanimous. Joe, is it?
It is, Chair, yeah.
Thank you. Members to approve a grant of £1,000 from Councillor Dowser's Ward Improvement Fund for Healthy Growth Initiative Project. Presumably you've all seen all your papers and everything. Do I have a proposer for that? Thank you very much, Councillor Chris Graham. I'll second. All those in favour? Unanimous, I think, Joe?
It was, Chair, yeah.
Thank you.
So, sorry, Chair, I think, have you missed out members approve the £250 from
Councillor Walker.
Walker? It's the one before
No,
number
yeah.
5.
You're absolutely correct. I beg your pardon.
Can I ask if you can see me, please?
Sorry?
Can I ask if you can see me?
Yes, I can.
Because I haven't voted twice, and twice you said it was unanimous.
Sorry, Chair, that's me. I'm glancing at the screen, and sorry, Councillor Cockendale, you are in my bottom corner. Apologies.
Thank you.
Members to approve a grant of £250,000 from Councillor Andrea Walker's Ward Improvement Fund for Casey's Corner Bench Project.
£250, Chair, just to clarify, not two,
Thank you.
not 250,000.
I tried to say 2,000, but I did.
£250.
Thank you. I'm so sorry. Does anybody have any questions about this project, or does anybody want to propose it, or? There is absolutely deathly silence.
Can we have a plaque rather than a plague?
I'm so sorry, that's the office typo.
Joe?
Apologise.
Chair, somebody just needs to propose and second it, please. You can either accept it or you can refuse it. It's only one. You got two choices.
Councillor Peter Cockendale.
Proposing it.
Seconded by Councillor Chris Graham. All those in favour?
That's passed, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you. Members to approve a grant of £100 from Councillor Abberton's Ward Improvement Fund for the Utley Baby Memorial, the ground tidying project. I mean, obviously, I'm going to propose it. Can I have a seconder, please? Thank you very much. Councillor Leanne Wrench. Thank you very much. All those in favour?
I think that's the majority, Chair. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Members to approve a grant of £1,000 from Councillor Graham's Ward Improvement Fund for the Twines Footpath Project. And also we will.
Sorry, can I suggest you do them together because they are the same.
I am going to. I was just about to say that. And members to approve a grant of £1,000 from Councillor Wrench's Ward Improvement Fund for the Twines Footpath Project. Now, I would actually like you to go down into the applications, please, if you wouldn't mind, because the figures are not correct.
Chair, can I also ask a question, please?
Yes, of course you can.
Yeah, can can either Councillor Graham or Councillor Wrench just give us an overview of where the footpath runs? Because I tried to get some answers from Paul Cook, and I was a little bit confused. Not that I think it's a bad idea. I just think I just like to have a little bit more in my mind. And the reason I'm asking is because there are also moves afoot from Bradford Council regarding the actual cobbles themselves, and that will probably come as part of my remit during the ongoing negotiations regarding the town's fund. So whilst I'm saying that, I just want to get it straight in my mind, so when I'm talking at another meeting, I know what I'm talking about. That's all. Thank you.
Councillor Chris Graham.
Thank you, Chair. The Twines, as some of you will know, is a very ancient cobbled road that is located in Thwaites Brow and leads down to Keighley. There has been part of a footpath for people to be able to walk down there. There's been a lot of work done on this in the last 3 years, and I know that Councillor Wrench and Councillor Westerman have also been involved in this project by giving their support. They have been doing a lot of tidying up. They have been planting bulbs, flowers, clearing brambles, clearing dead wood, trees. And this has been done by the community. There is a footpath, but it suddenly comes to an abrupt end, which means that anybody walking down has to then start walking on the cobbles, which of course that road is used by cars coming up and down. So I received a request with Councillor Wrench if we would look at using our ward fund money to actually extend this footpath. Now the total cost of this will be 4,300. But obviously we only have, Councillor Wrench has 1,000, I have 1,000 too. So we have asked if it is possible for the footpath to be extended to a safe stop so that it can be done in 2 halves. That has been agreed by the person who has given us the quote, and they've re-quoted for just half of the footpath. We would like to extend it further around the corner, and so that it eventually leads to this very nice new bench that Paul Cook actually got Pinocchio furniture in Parkwood. They supplied it. It's becoming a really nice place for wildlife, for people to visit, and the project obviously is going to go on for some time, and it is hoped that school children can also go down there and adopt part of it for gardening. But of course it's a bit unsafe at the moment because there isn't a footpath for them to actually get to that area. So with regard, I don't know what Councillor Corkindale is going to talk about the cobbles. Some of the cobbles came up through the bad weather last winter. They were removed by Bradford Council. I got in touch with Highways to ask for our cobbles back and was told by Bradford Council that they didn't belong to us, they belonged to Bradford Council. We recently had some work on the Twines by the gas company to put a new line in, and some more cobbles were taken up. So now these are being held in safekeeping elsewhere. The long-term view is that we will, hopefully, when some heritage funding comes up, we can apply for some to get the cobbled road made as it would have been many, many years ago. At the moment, we're just trying to make it a safer place by extending the footpath that never went anywhere, just came to an abrupt stop. And we're trying to do it in 2 halves because we if you approve the ward development money from Councillor Wrench and myself, at least we can get it further down so that there's less and less cobbles for pedestrians to walk on, because they do. People use it as a shortcut down into Keighley, and it is a shortcut. So I don't know what Councillor Corkindale was going to say about the cobbles, but that would be interesting to hear. Thank you, Chair.
Does anybody have anything else to say? Okay, so the first thing that I would like you to do is to actually go down to the application from Chris Graham and also from the application from Leanne Wrench, because we have a couple of discrepancies with the figures. So the figures for Councillor Graham's application, and I have spoken to Councillor Graham on this, is that where you come to the budget and expenditure items, you have digger, 2 men, stone, timber, small plant, 2,800. You have timbers, wooden pegs, hardcore, fuel, removal of soil, 1,500. That is under A. B is total expenditure, which must be the sum of the above, which is 4,300. Then you have C, which is Councillor Wrench, £1,000, and to be raised from other means not yet confirmed, 2,300. Some requested from Keighley Town Council, 1,000. E must be the sum of C and D and equal to figure B. So that should actually be 4,300. Is that right, Joe?
Yeah, Chair, we'll get that amended.
Thank you. So going on to, the only thing is, the only reason why I'm being so picky is I don't want anybody to come back in a year or more and say, you got that wrong. Yeah? So we'll go back down to Councillor Leanne Wrench's application. And again, with the expenditure. So you've got A, which is absolutely fine. B, there is nothing in there. So that should actually be 4,300. Some requested from Keighley Town Council, that's fine, that's £1,000. But E should be 4,300. Is that okay, Joe?
That's fine. Yeah, we'll get that amended, Chair.
Okay, so that being that, I just wanted to have those figures absolutely correct before we actually went and voted on this. Now, having said all of that, I would like to propose that we consider item number 8 and 9. So Councillor Graham's Ward Improvement Fund and Councillor Wrench's Ward Improvement Fund, and I would like to propose that they are accepted. May I have a seconder, please? Oh, I've got so many people. Councillor Mark Curtis. Sorry, Luke. Sorry, Peter. All those in favour? Marvellous. Thank you very, very much indeed. Right. Now then, where's my other thing? What else am I doing, Joe? I've lost it.
That's the last thing down. It's item 10, which is future items.
Oh, I've got it. Thank you. Item 10, future items for decision. Now, I believe there was, oh, I'm sorry. I'll ask Councillor Luke Mansell, please, first.
We may be of the same mind here. I seem to recall at full council, we said that the plaque for Councillor Abidus would be coming
Yep.
to finance to decide on terms of how the budget was coming on. So I just wanted to know if that's going to be at the next meeting, or is that what we're waiting for on that?
To be perfectly honest, I have no indication of that at the moment, but perhaps the clerk does.
Chair, it most likely will be on your next agenda.
Okay, so I think that people might have to have a little bit of a think of how we're going to sort that out. Yeah. Any other items for future meetings? I have one. When do we need to put it in the last tranche of the ward improvement funds?
That'll be next month, Chair. That'll be your last meeting of the financial year.
Yes, I know, but what date?
We
Because
issue.
I think we need to tell people that they need to start putting their applications in quickly.
We don't have to tell people. I'm happy to leave the money where it is, Chair. That we don't have to tell them anything. It was 7. We issued papers 7 days before. I will include it in my weekly update to councillors that any submissions will need to be submitted really by the 5th of March for consideration of the committee.
Okay, that's lovely, because I know that there are a lot of people who haven't actually put in any money yet.
That's fine.
Anything else, anybody? Okay, so it only leaves me to tell you that the date of the next meeting of this committee is held on Monday, the 15th of March 2021 at 6 p.m. And I would just say thank you very, very much for attending tonight.